welcome back to my podcast, Hey There. I'm Sarah, the founder of HEY Pear, a creative website design and branding business that helps businesses to show up and show off online. Now, today's episode is extra special because not only am I joined by a guest, but my friend, Emma Willott.
Hello.
Also known as by Emma Campbell.
That's me.
So you may already know Emma from Instagram. She's built a huge following and she's had multiple reels that have had over 1 million views. On top of that, she's a mum, a freelancer, and she has multiple businesses, both online and offline. So we're going to chat to Emma about her journey online, what it's really like behind the reels, and her best advice for other business owners to show up online with confidence. So let's just jump straight into it.
Okay.
So, Emma, tell us all about what it is you actually do.
Okay, I always feel like with this question, people will probably think, yeah, what is it that you actually do? Because I do wear a few hats, but I like to think that they're all linked. So my main job, basically my main role as someone who works for herself and in business is I am a freelancer doing copywriting and online marketing and SEO for predominantly beauty and wellness brands. I have always worked, before going freelance, I used to work for more of the bigger companies, working in marketing, e-commerce, all the online sector, social media. So I have been freelance now for about 8 years. So that is basically the main bulk of my business, working for myself. I have been a content creator and what started back in the day as a blogger, I want to say about 15 years. Obviously, the whole online blogging community in that industry has changed over the years to go social media led. So that's where like the content creation side has evolved from. So that's something that I've always ran. And it does kind of go alongside what I do for clients as well. So I will help clients with their social media strategies, with their online SEO, with their copywriting, newsletters, email, all the shiny things that marketing involves. Alongside that, I have more recently set up more of an offline community, so to speak, but it does actually overlap with online, which is the Mum Club for Cheshire East. And that is organising mum brunches, coffee clubs, fitness clubs, Pilates, yoga, so mums can all get together. We have what I like to call mum-focused and mum-led meetups, where mums obviously bring their babies or their toddlers or their children, or you can come with bumps, and we do enjoyable things that you did before kids.
Wow. So
there's a few things going on there.
You definitely wear a few hats there.
Yes.
So you're obviously a mum and a freelancer and all these other hats that you wear. How do you juggle it all?
So I definitely don't have the answer to that. And I'm always looking for people to give me the answer, so to speak. So I think I just float along and try my best. But I've definitely felt the struggle since becoming a mum. So before I had kids, my eldest is now 4 and my youngest is 2. Going back 4.5, 5 years, it was very different. I could take whatever opportunities were coming my way. I could go to London for a couple of days. I used to work in my evenings and weekends, and I made all my little sidelines and things like a hobby, and just loved, work was life, and there was no lines. It just all blended in. Since becoming a mum, that is not possible. And again, it was much easier when I had 1 than 2, but it was still hard when I had 1. So I don't have the answer to that. And I would like to say that you do have to be really strict with your time and know where your boundaries can't be crossed. And I'm still learning that. I'm definitely not where I want to be in terms of my career because of being a mum with 2 very small kids. But I have to remind myself that this is my season where I am needed elsewhere, and being a mum is another job. And that job is very important at the moment. So it is going to be a juggle I think it'll be a juggle forever, really.
Yeah.
And you'll know that because obviously you're a mum with a child who is a lot older than my kids, but it's still a juggle for you.
Yeah. I don't think you ever get over the juggle.
No.
And you try and put in these strategies. You mentioned boundaries. Boundaries is so important and something I've learned in business. You do have to have your boundaries. Otherwise, you just have clients who constantly contact you and you just never get a break from the business. Mm-hmm. And you do need a break.
Yeah. And phone time, screen time when you're with the kids and you're trying to cram in some work thinking it's okay, I can put a film on, but that might last 10, 15 minute attention span and you're still there working, and it's how much do you want your kids to see that? I think a little bit is okay, because sometimes I think you can't just stop everything. When you're self-employed, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a limit and there's boundaries, and I'm still working that one out.
Forever working it out.
Yeah, definitely. It is so much harder in the last few years, but I'm learning to adapt and make it work my own little way.
All we can do.
Yeah.
So just again, whilst we're on parenthood, do you think being a parent has changed the way that you show up online?
Yes, definitely. I would say that the main way that it has is if we go into like the content creation side of my like life and work, so to speak. I, before kids, always showing up online and doing all my businesses around like beauty, fashion, wellness. It was always like a lifestyle kind of content creation thing that I did. Becoming a mum changed that, because that is your life. And I've always been a very open and honest person on social media. So that was then shown as my journey for content creation. So that side of the business changed. I then became someone that was oversharing about motherhood, and still do now. I just like to open up conversations that I don't feel like some people have in person. That did change it. I would also say that, you know, being a parent makes me look at things differently. It looks at my work-life balance, what example I want to set for my kids. It also makes me look back at the time that I worked for big companies and like, you know, some of the more corporate companies, and I look at how I had no control over my days, what my weeks would look like. I was always reporting to people, working really hard to earn money for somebody else. And I think becoming a mum, and in this day and age now with how much more flexible and like it is to start your own business and work for yourself, how like online industries have changed, it's made me realise that I don't want to be that mum that goes to do what I used to do.
Yeah.
And we're going back like 7-8 years when I was in that kind of work environment, but being a mum has confirmed to me that I was not made to do that, and I think I'll be a better mum doing what I do now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a turning point for me, having my son, and then just realising that working in a full-time job and school hours, they don't match up.
I know. I still don't know how people do it.
I don't.
And I remember when I was younger and my mum would take us to school, and it was all school mums. Like, I never really saw, maybe occasionally I'd see someone's grandma, but there wasn't before school club and after school club and wraparound care and things like that. It was just everybody's mum would take them to school. And now it's not like that, because people have such demanding jobs now. Everything has changed. And I just think I'd never do those milestone things like getting to do drop-offs and pick-ups. And, you know, I don't always get to do them, but I like to be able to, I like to have that say.
Yeah.
And if there's a way around that, I will work hard to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you haven't got kids, it's just the whole, I think most business owners, and why we do it is because you kind of just realise that you're working really hard every day to make somebody else's business successful.
I know.
And I'm like, if I'm working this hard, I want to see these results for myself.
Yeah. And I do think it's obviously down to the individual. Some people aren't that way. And I don't think
absolutely.
like entrepreneurship or business owners is not made for everybody. But I think if you've had that burning desire to do it and you have a passion for something that you're doing so well for somebody else, there's opportunities to do it for yourself. And if you are a parent, it can give you a much better work-life balance, which I have found for me it has. I know it doesn't with everybody. It depends what you do. Being a parent has made me, because I mean, and you will have this, I'm sure yourself, I have blips along the way where I think back to my old job and think, oh, you know what? It would be easy to be on that salary and get holiday pay and sick pay and a pension. Should I look at going back? And then it's, you know, being able to do certain things with my kids or have a bit of freedom in the week. And I'm like, then it brings me back to, no, I think I was made to try and do this on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all have that. Sometimes you'll have a real dry spell, which is natural. It's always up and down in self-employment.
Oh, definitely.
And then you start thinking, oh, should I go back to job?
Yes.
And then you're like, actually, no, because I want a random Wednesday off and go to the zoo, and you just can't.
Yeah, I just want to work from a coffee shop today without somebody asking me why I've not tipped up at the office and things like that. It's just a freedom, isn't it?
Yeah.
But every time it comes to going on holiday, and like my husband is the same, he is self-employed. So we're always like, none of us get holiday pay for this holiday. And it's those moments where you're like, oh man, like just imagine. But it's what outweighs the other, isn't it?
Totally. And we love it. That's why.
We do. And that is the key.
Yeah.
You have to love it.
Yeah, that is the key. You have to love it, because it is that hard and it's all on you, that if you don't love it, then...
Yeah.
And like you say, it's not for everybody.
No, and it's not for the faint-hearted. You cannot be like... And this is probably like one thing that you'll have noticed, and I'm sure anybody listening that's looking, you know, for a bit of advice on like working for themselves or this whole self-employment thing, there's a lot of like crap online that glorifies it, and it makes it like, oh, you know, like faceless marketing and all these things where like you don't actually have to do anything, and that's just a load of rubbish if you want to succeed in working for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, with all this faceless marketing, I've discussed in some of my previous episodes about how people connect with people. They need to see your face. And this faceless marketing goes against all of that. So I have my reservations about all of that.
I think it's had its moment as a bit of a trend in the whole, like, working for yourself, like work-life balance on social media. I think it's dying out. And yeah, it's the way it's been promoted is just not, it's just not very realistic.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your influencing. So how did that all start? Did that start from the blogging and then it just naturally transitioned into the social media?
It did, yeah. It started way back then. And I honestly don't know if I'd not been in that whole blogging industry, would I have then decided to take the leap into like sharing and content creating on social media. But I think I would have, because I am that type of person that just loves creating and sharing and like building communities and seeing what other people are up to. I just kind of love that, and I love like the online industry. So I think I would have, but that is how it started. I actually started blogging because I was doing fashion marketing and journalism at uni, and my goal was always to work in journalism for like fashion and beauty websites, and well, more so magazines back then. So we're going back to like, oh yeah, how long ago was it? Like 17 years ago, when it was magazine journalists, and that's what I wanted to do. So I used to write for everybody for free, like so many big magazines and like online publications I would just write for free when I was like at uni and finishing, just to get my name on a byline. And that was like what you did back then, like to work really hard to get your name known. So I would work on my blog like every evening. I started working after uni, and then weekends and evenings I would blog. And back then there wasn't a big community of us, so I did get my foot in the door quite early. I won an award with Cosmopolitan magazine back in 2010, I think it was. And yeah, like I say, there was a lot of people, but nothing like the whole like influencer world now. And that opened so many doors for me. At the time, retailers were just starting to launch blogs. So I got on board with Matalan and helped launch their blog. And I used to have my own column with them every Friday. And it just grew and grew. And then it was amazing. And then before you knew it, Instagram came out, and it was such in like its infancy that I'd never really saw the potential of social media sites back then. So I just carried on blogging until then, like all the people that I used to blog for and like brands and all the events. I mean, it was an amazing world back then. And it was overwhelming. Like I was young and just being gifted, like back then it was like MAC was like the best makeup brand, and they would just like gift me like packages, and it's like, oh my God, this is insane. And it was like amazing incentives to keep going. And then slowly it was like, oh, looking for like some posts on Instagram, and it developed naturally from then. So that's how it did start. Now, I would always argue that I am naturally a writer, and I was more so back then than someone that was like picture perfect. So I feel like I was a little bit slower to like really grasp the whole, okay, you've really got to be creative on social media to stand out. You've really got to capture people's attention with amazing visuals and you know, all the photography skills. So like, yeah, knowing what I knew back then, like that would have been the key to have really got ahead. But yeah, I've consistently kept up and really do enjoy social media side of it now. And that is literally how I got into it. And obviously, as we all know, it's just exploded now into this massive world of video content creators, and you're not just a YouTuber anymore. You can do your own short videos on TikTok and Instagram, and here we are.
I think it's interesting what you say about your approach to writing and journalism, because storytelling is so important to connecting with your audience. So it feels like you're naturally connecting with people through a storytelling approach. Yeah. And then you've translated that into visuals as well.
And sometimes I wish that side of it was more like, I wish you could just do loads of writing and it was visually attractive to someone. But in this day and age that we live in now, it's not. You have to have like really catchy videos, and you have to be putting yourself on there. And if you're having a down day where you've not got makeup on and you feel a bit pants, you're like, oh, I just wish I could like just speak instead. But yeah, I do think if you're naturally good at storytelling and like that, then it can come out on social media. But social media is so creative these days.
Yeah.
And I think that's always been something that I've found to be a little bit like, oh God, you've got to, you've got to put other efforts in. But it has taught me to be more creative. I've learned lots more skills I would never have thought I'd have gone down any sort of like video editing route. And then some days, I can spend all day.
Just putting yourself out there.
Yeah. Yes, that's the thing. Like, people do want to see you.
Yeah.
They're not just interested in like pictures of things and your words behind it.
So if there was somebody who, has been on social media for a bit, they want to start putting themselves out there more, but they might lack a bit of confidence to do that, what would be your biggest tip to give them a bit of confidence or the kick to just do it?
I mean, they'd have to probably start off small and not just completely go all out there, because it can be scary. And, if you're not naturally that way, it's a bit like, and I do think, and this could just be me, but I think generally across the board, like, there's a lot of pressure on people saying, show up every day on your stories, talking head and put all the words on there. But sometimes I admit I'll scroll past them because I think I'm not interested in you just walking down the street, just talking and telling me what you're up to on your day.
Yeah.
So I do think to do it, just start off small, basically. Like, you might just want to like show your face on a carousel and like a bit of a personal diary about what you've been doing, and then film some reels. Like, I always say to anyone that wants to show up online and they don't know how to, they feel a bit silly putting themselves on, is just film yourself doing everyday activities. Like, it's B-roll content. Just set your tripod on your phone up and film yourself doing the things you love the most, so it's not forced. It can be cooking if you like cooking, or just making your coffee, or working behind your laptop, working out at the gym, whatever it is that lights you up. Just film yourself doing little things, so it doesn't feel forced, and you don't, you can just get on with your day, and then you kind of forget you're filming yourself. And then you've got this bank of videos and imagery that you can then use that show yourself, and it just feels a little bit more natural.
And what type of content would you create with that kind of B-roll stuff? Would you kind of have it as background and then you'd put some big graphic over it?
I think it can work for any industry that anybody's in, but obviously if you try to tailor it so it's not completely, off. So if you're talking, obviously it depends what industry somebody is in, but if you were, say, for example, someone who, like me and you, worked in marketing, and they could be doing like anything from social media creation to content writing to videography or anything like that. You just film yourself when you're working doing that, or when you're out on location, and then I would put like a tip, like a hook, so like one strong hook. It can even be like you just put a little bit of a statement as a bit of a scroll stopping hook, and then you put it all in the caption. Mm-hmm. Or you can just do little just little text along the reel. Something so it's not like, if it's loads of text, people are just like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But keep it simple and clear. And I mean, quality is a winner as well. And that's
quality
something that...
over quantity.
Yeah, if you get your visuals really sharp and clean, it looks a bit more like effort, and it can draw people in, because people at the end of the day, they'll stop for something visually nice.
People have a very short attention span.
Yeah, so if they just see a load of text, and then also the text is kind of going off the video as well. Yeah. There is obviously this whole thing of social media where you should be finding these scroll-stopping hooks, and it is quite hard, but we've got ChatGPT now that can help us.
Love a bit of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
If you're not using ChatGPT, then you're behind because everybody else is using it. So,
and it's only going to get more and more.
Yeah.
So you have to find ways to make it work for you.
Yeah, definitely. So just following on, it might repeat some of the things you just said. Mm-hmm. So you have had some reels that have gone pretty viral.
Yeah, I think they were mostly last year, but yeah.
Yeah. So do you have some top tips of how other people could get their content to go viral?
I mean, there's still this thing with virality, and I think people chase virality so much, and they think that it can like make or break their business or their social medias. And whereas it doesn't in one aspect, I will say there was like the biggest one that I have, which I think was like 14 million.
Wow.
That did, every time I logged on my Instagram, there was followers. It was like, whoa. And it tells you it's come from that reel. So yeah, if you are looking, to boost yourself and grow, that is a great way to do it. I mean, once the reel kind of disappears, then the magic stops. But yeah, and I don't think people should chase virality and try to don't obsess over it.
Yeah.
But it definitely doesn't hurt to try and do a bit of brainstorming to find things that people will be able to tag people in or save and share, because people sharing it just opens it up to more eyes and just gets visibility for you, and it helps you grow. The best thing to think of is something that is just so relatable to people, because you want people to see it and go, oh my God, me too. And people love talking about themselves. People really want people to be like, this is me. Like just shouting something, oh, this is so relatable, this is me. So if they see something that really like hits that nail on the head, there's nothing stopping them just sharing that. And the person seeing it will think, oh my God, this is me too. And they share it. So that's like, it's finding something that people can do that with. Easier said than done.
Yeah. So when these reels have gone viral, is that how they've mostly gone viral? So it's not kind of through like the For You page, it's kind of from people sharing it with others, do you think?
I think you get pushed on the For You page as a result of engagement. So if something is starting to boost and they're seeing that, then you've got a lot more chance to get on
then
that.
Instagram's like, oh, people like this.
Yeah. So that's again, it's trying to get. It's like when you put something live, it's that first few hours where it can kind of make or break.
Yeah.
Saying that though, something can then kick off like a week after, but that's not as common. It is really that first 24 hours are like really key if something has like legs to go viral.
Yeah.
And it is, I mean, Instagram changes its algorithm all the time, but it is the more comments and the more engagement on it, saves and shares, then that pushes it up in people's feeds. Because sometimes if I post something that is probably really dull and it's not had that much thought behind it, and like it doesn't really get any engagement, like people, I swear about 90% of, well, even more than that, of my followers will just never see it. And that's, and I don't know why.
You can't chase any of that, can you? You just got to create content that's good for you, that you think your audience is going to like, and then see what happens.
Yeah,
and I think it's an added bonus if it goes viral.
It's having like a bit of both as well. Like at the end of the day, you want to be posting things that you enjoy, and it's not forced, and it's things that you think relate to your business and what you want to be known for, and things that you enjoy doing. But you do also have to maybe have like a 60-40 split, where that other 40 is looking at things that will draw people in, that have that shareability and engagement driven content.
Yeah, that doesn't mean to just go ahead and just post any old
something
crap.
that people are going to argue under, or like really slag you off on it, and it gets virality for the wrong reasons.
Oh no, yeah.
Which then it can just get loads of people like going, oh my God, what is she doing? And like, you're a vile person. You get all these horrible comments, but someone could purposely have done that. Like there's a mum that's in America, and I swear they must be like spoof reels. She puts them up about her morning routines of her kids, and it's like, everybody just comments going, this woman is nuts. This is not real life. And every reel gets thousands of people putting that on, and they just go viral. Yeah. But it's like, I'm sure she's doing that on purpose.
Surely that's got to be her strategy.
Yeah, because when you watch them, it's like, this is not real life.
So have you ever dealt, obviously I know you don't share the type of content that gets negativity, but have you ever dealt with negative comments and things like that?
Luckily, not really. Like, and like I've said before, when me and you have like chatted and things, I don't think I ever put anything up that ruffles feathers, and very like, it's just honest real life, and it's really not like, what I'm trying to say. It's not like crazy weird stuff.
Yeah.
So no, thankfully. I do remember the viral reel that I did do, the one that did like get to like nearly 14 million, which was a wedding themed one. And somebody was like, why is nobody talking about the fact a 50-year-old woman has married a 21-year-old guy?
What?
And it like, I was like, what? As I kept watching the reel over, thinking, do I look really old on this reel?
God.
And my husband looks really young. That just stuck in my head. But then loads of people rushed to like defend me on it, which is like, oh, this is boosting the virality. And then like just little things and it depends what you put out there. So when my eldest girl, 4, when she was younger and she was in a lot of physio, I used to just document the physio journey, because I needed a community and I needed people to like tell me that they were in that same situation. I wanted to use my platform to reach out to people that was in the same boat as me. And I occasionally would have people saying like, she's fine. Like she's really fine. We don't need to be sharing that. And just because they'd see something that looked fine, and just people thinking that they know your life better than you because you've chose to overshare. So nothing horrible or negative, but I think the more into parenthood you go and motherhood onto Instagram, that's a catalyst for
the more opinions you're gonna get. Yeah. So when you did have that really mean comment, and when you do get parents who are a bit maybe a bit too opinionated on your posts. How do you deal with that?
I think I've either ignored them.
A big fat ignore.
Yeah, a fat ignore, or if it's really bothered me, I've explained. One thing I always try and do is I want my page to reflect exactly who I am. And I have to remember that there's lots of people who follow me who I'm friends with in real life. So I don't want them to see me plug in something that I wouldn't use in real life. So I'm not ashamed to say that I have a few things at home from Temu, I don't know how you actually pronounce it. But yeah, when I put some homeware up of the other day, I had a really horrible message saying, I don't think you're aware of how they treat their workers. And everything she's saying was spot on. But my response to her was, I bought these. I buy things from there occasionally for kids' party bags. And I know millions of mums that do. So I would be lying if I didn't show that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not on there saying, everybody rush out and buy it because it's so good for the planet and it makes you a good person if you do. I'm not saying that. But I just shown it naturally that I have shot from there.
Yeah.
And the message was horrible. And I just explained, I'm just being honest that I have shot from there. And I know you're right. You are right. But I am about real life on here, and let's just be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't, maybe there's a bit too much pressure on you sometimes because you've got a following, but you can't be responsible
and imagine
for
if I
everything.
put on there I'm going to M&S today and buying all these treats for party bags, and then my friends in real life came and knew that there were things from there that were Temu things in the party bags, and then was wait, Emma's been putting on that she shops in all these really expensive places for her kids.
I think people can see insincerity as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about being online and your social media followers, what's the one thing business owners should focus on if they want to actually convert their followers into clients or paying customers?
So I think what they have to think about is you can't just rely on social media to grow your business, because a lot of the time it's for entertainment and there's no call to action other than people just enjoying what you're putting out there, or not enjoying it, could be, on the other hand. So it's finding a way to turn the people that are following you into people that are going to invest in your business. So it's a long journey. It's not something you can do overnight, but I think that's when you should start thinking about linking your social media to other channels, finding a way where these followers and people that engage with you could join your email list, or could join a community somewhere off social media, or can be led to your website and look at your services or product and purchase. So it's trying to find ways to bring them in. And it's probably the whole nurturing the person that is following you, and trying to, find ways to really make them trust you. And I mean, the hard work's done by showing up every day and letting them see what you're all about, and that honest work that you do and the things that you're interested in. But then you do have to go that step further and think, can I offer them something that captures their email address? And then, because you have to think, one day if social media channels decide to just disappear off the face of the earth, you've lost everything. Yeah. So it's trying to get those customers, or those followers rather, onto something else. I know a lot of people will offer freebies for people, sign up here, or join this, and I'll send you a free guide to this, or I'll give you a free discovery call, or do this, or blah blah blah. There's lots of things people can do to capture the email address and try and take them off your social media. Well, keep them on, obviously, but take them onto your email list. Yeah. Building communities, you can take it to things like WhatsApp, and that's something that I do with the Mum Club that has worked really well, because I was finding that it's an events-based business where we have events in person, and not everybody is scrolling, and I'm not always showing up on everybody's feeds. But once I got everyone off that platform and onto the WhatsApp group, I drop an event in there, and it's such a quicker turnaround for booking up the events than it was when I was relying on social media. Yeah. So it's trying to find ways to take the followers onto the other channels, not just relying on social media.
Yeah. Okay, so you have all these multiple businesses that we've mentioned, both online and offline. If somebody out there wants to start up a business or become a self-employed freelancer, what would be your advice for them to get started?
Okay, so I think that there's loads of things that they would need to be doing, which is more related to the work and the techniques and things like that. But none of that will work until they get actually obsessed with wanting to be self-employed or a business owner and doing it on their own. I think once you've got in that mind frame where you are obsessed with the goal of I'm going to get there and I'm going to do this on my own, I'm going to build a team or whatever goals it is, I'm going to, work as a freelancer, self-employed on my own. Everyone's different with where they want to go to. You've just got to get really obsessed with that lifestyle and picture how you want your months and weeks to be and do everything you can to get to that goal. But you've got to live and breathe it. Like it's never going to come to you and no one's ever going to do the work for you. So it has to be you and you literally just have to be obsessed with it. And if you're not obsessed with it or not, you don't have that drive to do it, then you have to sometimes think, is it what I want to do? Because if you love something so much and know that you'd be so good at doing it, then you've just got that drive.
Yeah.
So you've got to find that first. And when you do, just don't stop obsessing over it and make the goals and then work out the pathway to get there. And once you've got that and you know that's what you want to do, then it's things like getting your name out there, networking, showing up online, finding ways to get, that people can hear about you and what you're doing and work up like your own marketing plans. But until you nail that obsession with what you want to do, I think that is like the first step.
Yeah, you've got to be obsessed and you've got to enjoy it and love it because everything falls on your shoulders. There's nobody telling you what to do. There's nobody telling you to go out there and find clients or to do the work.
Yeah. If you don't put that work in, like the work isn't going to come to you, and especially in the first few startup years. So you've just got to really have that fire in your belly to do it. And the more people you meet and the more people that you're showing up in front of, people know people. Yeah. So like approach everybody as if like they could be a future client or a future customer because you never know when that person's going to come in handy. I find that so much. Like I'll bump into people from like 2 years ago and then I'll be like, oh my God. And I'll talk to them about what I'm doing now. And they'll be like, oh, actually, I know someone who's just going to work for this company. They've always wanted someone to help them with this. And it just all links in. So
it does. That just reminds me. So we're both very naturally network with people, don't we?
Yeah, we love good networking sessions.
We've been to plenty of networking events together. And it's again, it's showing up and showing off, but you're doing it face to face instead.
Yeah.
And when I say showing off, it's not walking into a room and being like, oh, everybody, I'm so amazing. Yeah. It's just you're actually putting yourself out there and you just, we both do that naturally. And I think that has helped us both.
100%.
Yeah.
And there'll be people listening that might not feel that confident and they don't actually like a lot of like face-to-face events, and the thought of a networking event makes them feel a bit funny, and that's not like they don't have to go to do that, but then if that's not the type of way you feel comfortable doing it, you have to look at other ways of connecting. And it might be that you like hiding behind a screen, which is absolutely fine because I think most people do, and it's just engaging with people within your industry or doing some really good work for people that know a lot of people and that they could potentially be leads for your business. Putting that work in whilst you can, like if you can do it while overlapping whilst you're in another job, so you're not like losing out on income. Doing things like that, because at the like word of mouth and people's recommendations is
word
just
of
golden.
Mouth. Yeah, word of mouth is, thinking back to the early days of HEY Pear, word of mouth is what got me so many jobs and got me started off. So then I had all those posts to put on social media, which then starts attracting more clients from further afield.
Yeah.
But just going back to the networking as well, it does bring a lot of fear to some people.
Yeah.
But you can find those groups where the networking isn't the hard sell. You can find there's a lot of female focused ones, a lot of creativity ones where it's very relaxed. It's more a cup of tea and a chat. Yeah. And not...
present yourself. Tell me what you're doing as a business.
Stand up at the front of the room with a suit on and a briefcase, and
I know what you mean.
That's not what we're about.
We're really lucky in the world that we live in now. Like I think 5 years ago it wasn't anything like this now, but there's so many things. There's so many like little events
there is.
And communities going on for people that are in business, and they're so laid back, and if you're scared to go, they don't feel like they're actually networking. And there's just like online communities as well where everyone just gets together, and
there is a lot of informal online ones where people meet up for an hour online. I think like the world we're in now, it's so much
easier to do things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like going to them face to face, but sometimes I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Not like in a rude way. I'm just like, I can't be bothered to get, if I'm working from home, I'm like, oh, I just don't know if I can be bothered today. And that's when, like, I mean, I'm in quite a lot of communities online, and sometimes I'm just one of these watchers and I'm just watching what other people are doing. But then I know further down the line, if someone's going to ask me like, oh, I need help, like personal training or nutrition. And I think, oh, I've seen somebody in this group that does that. So it's just the more people you just get your name in front of and just knows what you do without even being, pushy or anything.
Never pushy.
It's just, golden.
Yeah. Okay, so it's time to wrap it up. It's flown by.
It's gone so quick.
And I feel like I'm going to have to get you back on because I feel like there's so many topics we could cover.
Yes.
So much we could talk about. We could do a whole episode about naturally networking. We could do a whole episode about online businesses, offline businesses.
Yeah. All the different
We
channels.
haven't even mentioned SEO.
Oh my God, I know.
There's so much stuff.
Website. We haven't even talked about website design from the pro.
So yeah, I think we definitely need to get you back on. So my final question to you is, if you were to start out today and you had 0 following, no online presence, no websites yet, no businesses yet, how would you get going?
What I would say to anyone that was doing that, so like, tomorrow they want to start, 0 on everything. I would, as a number one, find a channel that you love. Now that we're spoiled today, there's everything from like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest,
LinkedIn.
Websites, Facebook, LinkedIn. Oh my God, there's loads. Find the one that you enjoy showing up on, because if you're not going to enjoy showing up on there's one that you don't enjoy scrolling in general, you're not going to enjoy then putting your work on it. So find the one that you like. For me, that's always been Instagram. I've never really got into the others to the same extent. So Instagram's always my number one. So I think the first thing is find out which channel you really like being on, and then put all your efforts into that. Don't even think about expanding onto anything else until you've built a really good foundation on there. You've started to, put your content out there, say what you do, and then try and think. And obviously everyone listening has different industries and what they want to do, so I'm trying to be a bit more broad, but think of one good offering that you can offer as part of your business, and like dial it in so that it's not complicated. It's just one really good offer. Yeah. Whether it's, I can create this, this, and this for this.
Yeah, because you can expand later on. Yeah.
And you can have add-ons and, you can upscale yourself, downscale, all those kind of things. But just really home in on one good offer and get that on that channel that you really enjoy being on, and just keep doing that and keep repeating it, and try and create a funnel where you're getting people into your channel, and then they know exactly what you do and they know how to take it or buy from you or shop from you, use your service, or even just follow you and watch what you're doing. They just know, and do that solidly for the first. Now, everyone's business will be different, but say first 3 months and just really work on that. Yeah. Otherwise, you just spread yourself too thin. If you're on every single channel, you're diluting your time, and everything that you put on there is just like wishy-washy. So that would be, if I was doing it tomorrow, I would do that.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with everything you're saying there. One defined service that you're very, very clear on. Yeah. And then once you've started booking people on that, then you can start expanding and developing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would also add as well, to follow on what you're saying, is to just get going. Don't sit on ideas too long. I've done that in the past where I've sat on ideas, and you've got a great idea, a great business name, and
try to make it perfect.
Yeah, and then somebody else comes along and does it.
Yeah.
That's happened to me quite a few times because I've sat on ideas. Yeah. So
there's never going to be a right time.
There's never a right time, and it's never going to be perfect. Yeah. So I always follow now is progression over perfection.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Bit of a cheesy term, but it's so true.
Yeah.
Because again, like going out of the one service and then you develop that, you can also fine tune everything. Yeah. But once you've got started,
got yourself going, yeah. And once you've got yourself going, it's really hard to then go back and go, actually scrap this. I'm going to leave it for like a few months, because you're out there then. So then you only develop. Whereas you could sit at home and mess about with fonts and colours for ages until it's perfect, and then before you know it, half a year's gone. Yeah. No, you've got to get it out there. And then in regards of having 0 followers, don't buy followers. None of that. It's better to have 100 followers and they're actually interested and engaged than having Yes.
3,000 fake followers.
Exactly.
And
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You just want, you want to build up people. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you know that the people following you are genuinely going to be interested in you.
yeah. And finding those first few followers, I mean, normally it's always your family and friends, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? But then as you grow and grow, you'll find that the people you know the most don't tend to like your stuff because there's some weird thing about watching someone's success. That's just a universal thing, isn't it? And then you'll find that you get really good support from strangers on the internet. But that's how it is.
Yeah, that is how it is. You get more support and more likes and engagement from strangers.
Yeah, it's weird.
On the internet.
It's just something that makes people feel uncomfortable when they know you. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that is how I hear it from everyone.
Yeah, that's a universal thing, so don't take it personally.
Exactly.
Don't take
Expect
it.
it. Yeah, they'll be there at the beginning, but then as you grow, it's like, I'm not saying they don't support you, but they just might not be the ones showing all the love. You find it all through strangers.
Yeah.
Beautiful strangers.
Wow, so let's finish on that note then.
Yeah.
So, strangers on the internet.
Yeah. That could lead to another topic. Could do another podcast on that.
But
so much.
It's so true. We all connect with strangers on the internet, but we do it by storytelling, by showing up and showing off, by showing our faces.
Exactly, yeah. And you get your own little supporters that sometimes you'll probably never meet in real life, but they're just, they like following your journey.
Yeah, and they can easily become clients and customers.
Or recommend you to someone and you might not even know it.
Yeah.
There's sometimes one thing I didn't even talk about on here is I actually do bridal makeup as well, which is a bit of a sideline to the beauty industry that I'm in. And I'll often get emails from people going, hi, my friend recommended you. She's followed your page for a while. I don't know who this friend is, but they've obviously been there and they've seen what I do, and then I've come to mind when someone's been looking. Yeah. So that's the way you want it, really. Yep.
Well, thank you, Emma. I've loved this chat. And like I say, I'm going to have to get you back on because we haven't even covered...
No,
we haven't even touched the surface.
Yeah, we can chat loads more.
I know. So yeah, thank you for being so open and giving us all of that juicy information. So just finally, where can our listeners find you online?
So I am at by Emma Campbell on most of my socials, but like I said before, my main channel is Instagram. So you can head over there, and then from there you can see my Mum Club community too, which is at the Mum Club Cheshire East.
Fantastic. If you've loved today's episode, please hit subscribe or share it with somebody who needs to see this episode. Go head over to by Emma Campbell and have a nosy at what she's up to. Check out those viral posts.
Don't say that. Look 50 in the viral one. Keep those comments to yourself.
Oh my God.
Don't need that engagement.
You looked beautiful. So if you've loved today's episode, please hit subscribe and leave me a review. It helps me to get found by more people, and also share it with somebody who you think would love to hear this episode. And I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway of today's episode. So you can send me a message on Instagram. You can find me at heypear.co.uk. And thank you, and I'll see you next time. And thank you to Emma.
Thank you for having me.